What's going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 77. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Chris Seeley.
Hello, governors.
Emilio Lopez.
There you go.
And we're joined by a very, very special guest, Miss Erica Alatorre Cruz from She Attack.
What's up, everyone? Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yay! So, fun fact, we were going to have Erica on last week during our super show, but you were busy with school and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately. You guys had some good topics. I missed out.
Yeah, I know you were like, damn it, because you were like, I really wanted to be on. It was, I was like, hey, listen, you're one of those people, the door's always open, so thank you for being on tonight with us.
Awesome.
And since you're a first timer here, let's, let people get to know you a little better. So, the simple question, how did you get into gaming?
Oh, man. How do I start? Where do I start? I was about 5 when I played Super Mario Brothers. And ever since then, I've just had it as a love in my life. I've just always been a gamer. Big Nintendo kid, and I loved writing as a kid. So now that I get to write for She Attack and actually write about video games, it's just such a privilege, and I enjoy it. I also have a YouTube channel as well, where I could talk about gaming and just all kinds of content there. If you guys want to check me out, Eric Cuts for the Win on YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've just been a gamer ever since.
Yes, and but see, what I like about your videos is like you play the really hard stuff. Like you love the From Software games, especially.
Yes, I love the frustration because the reward is just so much better. I think I just love the punishment in a weird way. Yeah, Bloodborne kind of opened the doors for that. I really fell in love with Bloodborne last year, my game of the year, and since then I've been diving into the rest of the Soul series. So. Yeah, I'm in love.
Nice. What kind of stuff do you do at She Attack?
I'm a writer. I'm also an editor sometimes. I'm actually co-manager of the site now.
Ooh, fancy.
A little more, privilege there, and I get to make some orders here and there and tell people what to do. But no, I mean, it's cool there. We have a good sisterhood and brotherhood. We have some guys on the site now, and kind of started originally just with women, just to kind of give us a voice and give us a place to get together and get to know other gamers, and since then we've grown very much so, and I love it. So it's we're still young, but at the same time we've achieved a few things. We've gone to E3,
nice,
and some other conventions and stuff, and expos, and it's been awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, shout out to She Attack. I always love this. Like Nia Pierce, Jaleesa Foster, Amanda Stevens. All you guys are my friends. So it's. I'm really glad you guys are like getting up there like that because you guys deserve it. You guys put in a lot of work.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's been fun.
And then of course I want to give a quick shout out to all the guests from last week. We had a lot. It was crazy. We had Anchorman. We had Red Infamy. We had Charles Singletary. We had Rachel. She came on after a long time. We had. I think I'm missing somebody, but we had a ton of people. Alex Nuss showed up out of nowhere. it was insane, So that was good. That was because some of the guys weren't around. Kind of like Mr. Emilio. Where were you last week, man? You was missing.
I was at C2E2 last week. It was a good show. I mean, I got to meet a lot of really great people. I mean, not so many fans as far as the show goes. I mean, it seems like I meet a lot more fans in New York rather than Chicago. But still, a lot of really great people. Some really good, some fans of actually my work, which was cool. There's a guy who's actually been kind of a regular. He actually works on the Killer Instinct series. Because if you remember when they finally moved when that studio got bought by Amazon to be their developer, they gave the game series to another studio. These guys they did a lot of the ports of the Capcom games, so they always had really good netcode. So and he's actually a huge Metal Gear fan, and he bought some of my prints last year, and he bought some stuff from me this year. Really cool dude. he's like, hey, if you ever do any Killer Instinct stuff, I'll send all the guys over here. I'm like, that sounds cool.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, man.
Yeah, Kristen follows that guy and saw like, oh, he has Manny's book.
Yeah. So he's a really cool dude. That guy. He does a lot of the I think the balancing of the actual fighting of the actual engine the actual characters in the game and stuff. So he's a really cool guy. I met. Oh, of course, I have to give a shout out to Mr. Cicero.
Yeah, Cicero Holmes.
Cicero, that's his hometown right there in Chicago. That was actually his birthday during that week, and he had I wasn't able to make it, but I gave him some prints and stuff. Just a little birthday gift for him.
Nice.
I got to see him. I got to meet a lot of really cool folks. I mean, this time around, I didn't hang around as much after the show because I was just tired. I wanted to go back, and I was hanging with You remember Eric Jimenez?
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Man.
I was actually staying at his place because he's a local to Chicago, and he actually did some really good prints. He actually works at a print shop, and he did a lot of my prints for the show. Probably, I think I'm going to be using him. He's going to be my guy now.
There you go, man. I know you have some issues with some of your other printing dudes, Yeah,
some of the other printing people, like they're not Is just a little gripe. It's just that sometimes you want to have your prints where they kind of bleed all the way to the edge. For some of the places that I went to, they kind of leave a white outline on the outside. If you want a poster, you kind of want it to go all the way to the edge as opposed to kind of cutting off right before with the white border.
Yeah.
So I did prints through there, and all of them went straight to the edge and everything. And he even did some color adjustments, which is great. So because what happens when you print things, they always print a lot darker than what you see on the screen, unless you have your screen specifically set so that it looks like what's coming out. Color stuff,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great show. I mean, it's always great to go out there and see the effect that your work kind of has on people. Like you understand it too, especially when you go to places like PAX and you see a bunch of people come like, "Yo, man, Tony, I love your work." You don't get that much of that, especially kind of living in your kind of cave, your house. You just kind of do everything from home.
I'm actually glad you bring that up, because it's interesting because shouldn't that be diminished? Because of social media, like for me, I get instant feedback for my stuff on a daily basis.
I know. I mean, I get it too. But it's one thing than hearing and just seeing it in a bunch of text. It's another thing to actually interact with a person that you've kind of had some sort of effect on.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
That does throw me off because you know what it is. You're right. Usually when I talk to peers all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Right? And I see them, it's cool. When you have a fan coming up to you and they're like, "Hey, remember when you tweeted this? Remember when you wrote that?" I'm like, "No, I don't remember that, but that's crazy that you remember it. Cool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different story. The kind of especially like me, me and Kari haven't done shows close to when We Are Robin came out and Robin War. So that was most of our show. We were signing like We Are Robins and Robin War stuff the whole show, like bunches of people coming over to the table and getting stuff signed, which is great. And it's just like people saying, "Man, we love the series, we love your work." It's really cool stuff. And then of course the Metal Gear fans. I didn't take a photo of this guy, but he was dressed up as. You remember that kind of image that somebody painted of Snake dressed in Quiet's outfit?
Yes.
That's what this guy was. He was literally a dude in Quiet, like Snake in Quiet's outfit. I was like, oh my god.
Nice.
Yeah. So he bought a couple of prints for me. There was another couple which was dressed up as Snake and Eva. There was a guy dressed up as Snake, and he had a big box on with him. So it was one thing about doing the Metal Gear stuff is you always get these folks that come over that are just in interesting outfits from the series. So it was good stuff.
So it was as fun as always then, huh?
Yeah, I love going there. It's like a spread out version of slightly condensed version of New York. Chicago itself is not as big as New York, but it's also things are a lot like further apart, which is weird.
Interesting.
Cleaner City. I told this. I think I said this before. Instead of rats running around, you see a lot of rabbits.
That's weird.
That is a weird thing. You just see these little rabbits. I'm like, I guess that's better than a bunch of rats, definitely. Like, oh. But yeah. So, after all that, it was a good show, and after that, I had a bunch of stuff waiting for me. I had I worked on the recent Venture Brothers series, and I had a bunch of the Venture Brothers T-shirts, because whenever you work on a show, and especially at Titmouse, you always get you put on the little T-shirt things, because that's also what they do. They also create T-shirts and things. So they have what is called the Venture Brothers T-shirt Club, and anybody can join it. And each week of a new episode, there's about 6 or 7 episodes this season. Each episode, there will be a shirt from that episode. So I got a bunch of those that came in. I got a book that I ordered that I got from Kickstarter of Mike Ploog. Mike Ploog is an old school Marvel artist, and eventually after he used to draw like Werewolf by Night and Ghost Rider, all these really great stuff. But after that, which is the most interesting, he worked on The Thing. And he became a storyboard artist for for film. So one of the biggest ones that he worked on was The Thing, and he also worked on The Dark Crystal and all these stuff. So the book is actually, I don't have it here right now, but it's a really big book of all his work, paintings and everything he's done over the years. The last thing I got was this, which is the Republique Special Edition. This is a really cool collection that can only be found on I forgot what is it, on NIS, which is NIS America, which they do a lot of anime and special editions and bring over things. So which is actually cool about this is a physical copy of the game for PS4. It comes with a soundtrack.
By the way, you didn't buy that. Just make that clear.
I did buy it.
Oh, you did? I thought they sent it to you, man.
No, they didn't send that shit to me.
Man, I thought you had juice, man. That's not cool.
I don't got no juice. What juice are you talking about? I
got juice, baby. Ryan Payton, man. I thought that was your boy. I gotta buy my
stuff like everybody else.
I thought that was your boy, man. Ryan Payton, man. So, Metal Gear.
So it comes with the game. It comes with the soundtrack, and the big part of it, it comes with this, which is the manifesto from the game. In other words, it's okay, in the story, there's this guy called Treglazov, and he runs this crazy Republique, right? And he wrote this book. So the book is literally the book written by him, but it has these it's actually a strategy guide. So in it is all these annotations made by this guy named Zegger, who's this guy who's kind of who's rebelling against Treglazov and the Republique. So inside of it, it'll say stuff like, it'll say around here I hid this, and stuff like that, and it'll underline all kinds of other things. So you're reading 2 different stories at the same time, which is actually kind of cool.
Wow, that's really cool. I like that.
So it's kind of like those. There was a book a while ago that was like that, where it was it was kind of an interactive story where it would told one story, but then it had a total other story if you read between the lines and saw the annotations and things all over the book. So it's actually a really interesting thing. So it gives you a background on the actual game, about the game's world, and the main, a lot of the main characters. But yeah, and it's all in this little kind of fun little handbook that they did with it. Really cool stuff. So that's my thing.
Awesome. All right, so let's get into things here. So yeah, this week kind of slow, not much happened. But this was kind of fucked up, though. This happened really early in the week, too, which is crazy because last week we had a very similar story. So Sony shut down Evolution Studios. These are the guys that made MotorStorm and Drive Club. I know. Oh, Brian showed up. Hey, Brian.
He's been here.
Yeah, yes. What's up?
What's going on, man?
I thought I'd turn up again, as usual, just like an hour late. These damn farmers,
We thought you were watching Batman.
Yeah, that's what we thought, man.
I have better things to do with my life than watch those fights.
Damn.
I'm kidding, and plus, I have tomorrow off, so I'll watch it then. It's not a priority at the moment.
Nice.
Actually, Brian, you came right on time, man. So yeah, we were just talking about Evolution Studios being shut down by Sony. Manny, I know you got really pissed off about this one, so go ahead.
Yeah, it's actually really disappointing because it seems like companies like Sony and Microsoft buy these like independent studios and then just fucking close them down. after a few years after they've made whatever they made. It's kind of stinky. Like like a lot of these guys are probably very talented, and it's just at this point, just why didn't you just pay them to make these games rather than absorb them and then spit them out again?
Yeah, well, you know what happened. They didn't make enough money, right? So they gotta give them the axe.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but for them, Drive Club might have been way too ambitious for them to do.
But the thing is, Drive Club apparently sold 3 million copies, but even that wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, Erica, go ahead. What do you? Oh, by the way, Erica, meet Brian, our British liaison.
Hi, Brian.
Our British liaison. Yeah, I'm pretty much just like the British guy. It's nice to meet you too.
You got an accent in here. I like it.
Yeah, I was quite confused myself. I'm like, oh, a voice that I've never heard before. That's
well, nice to meet you. Yeah, it's unfortunate, the studio closing, but unfortunately, it's probably just another thing where it's cutting the fat. They just didn't bring in enough money, not making enough games. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play any of those games, but it's still sad, to see people lose their jobs. I mean, at least they had a heads up, though. I think Lionhead didn't, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, at least that happened, but yeah, it's still unfortunate.
Yeah.
By the way, I find it interesting how, like, literally at the beginning of the week, Sony had like a job rally or whatever for Lionhead Studios guys. Then the next day, they shut down Evolution.
Evolution, man.
And then, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like obviously they always need new people and to expand their teams. But yeah, like it's kind of sad that it has to go that way with these studios.
Yeah, but again, you know how it is now. If you're not the only way to be successful is to be profitable. You're not profitable, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I find fucked up, they're always like, oh yeah, we want to focus on the games people want to play. It's like, damn, you're trying to say people don't want to play their games? That's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it's like throwing shots.
Is that what Sony said though?
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. Microsoft said the same shit too. Go ahead, Chris. What are you gonna say, man?
I just think this is bad signs for the industry, because if I was upcoming in games, or like say I was coming out of computer science now, getting a degree or whatever, I'm like, I want to make video games. I wouldn't want to work in the fucking industry. It's like, go indie or bust, because you may not have a job 1 or 2 years in to your game coming out. There's just studios, the turnover is just it's insane. So with the indies the way they're going, and people having success with crowdsourcing and stuff, I don't see the AAA guys, like I see people just gonna start bailing out of the industry if this keeps happening. Why would you stay? You have no job security, right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, right. Drive Club didn't do poorly, not by what we see, but it wasn't good enough for Sony. So boom, everybody out. Like that's it. Lionhead out. Like there's just studios closing left and right. So and then reconsolidating and stuff. I don't know. I think creative guys are getting the shaft.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, the whole thing. It's like, unless you're like an indie guy or a super developer, AAA developer, you can't really make it in the industry anymore. The middle ground is gone now, Yeah. It's really crazy. It's like, imagine if the middle class just up and evaporated. That's what's going on now, essentially.
But also the thing is that you said, as far as Drive Club, like, yes, it sold pretty well, but who knows how much it costs to make that game?
Yeah.
Exactly. You remember how many times that game was, like, delayed?
Yeah, and the launch and stuff, that was all fucked up. And it's not a case of like we're prolifically digital, right? They make Gran Turismo, right? They don't make games very often, but when those games drop, they make a shit ton of money. So Sony keeps them around.
Also, I hate to say this, but they are Japanese.
Uh-oh, you think that may be something to play here?
There is, they are a Japanese studio, and you notice that the ones like. Sony hasn't had a crazy amount of hits all the time. Like you take a game like what is it? The Puppeteer, right? Theoretically, I mean, who knows how much that game took the cost to make, but it kind of was a failure.
Yeah, it was. But it fucked up though. But and we hear, it seems like we're hearing about this more and more often now. Studios just closing down. It's like Chris says, like, why would you want to get into the industry, man? Shit is death out there.
Too risky.
Yeah, basically.
I think again, that's I guess the best way is to go indie and eventually just start do games that kind of, eventually a lot of these games, the companies started as independent studios. Naughty Dog was an independent studio until not a few years ago, So they eventually got to the point where they started making these kind of heavy hitting sort of games, but they already kind of served their tenure. So like, what if you're a little studio and then you just make this amazing game that impresses Sony or Microsoft, and they decide, hey, I'm going to pick you up for X amount of money, and then that's what happens. They, you don't make that one game that kind of, keep the games kind of rolling, and you get closed.
This is weird amount of consolidation that's happening on both sides, and I don't like it because it wasn't like a month ago that they announced EverQuest Next got canceled. And that was under SOE and Daybreak, right? So what happened to those guys? And how long are they working on that game? Imagine you working on a game for years, right? Game doesn't even come out, boom, canceled, done, guys, done, wrap it up.
Yeah, I mean the same shit happened with Fable,
Yeah,
same
exactly.
With Fable,
Fable Legends, right there, it's like a month later.
Yeah,
no, not even a month, March 11th. So, yeah, it's like a couple weeks ago. Shit.
Yeah, but nuts. What's the other thing? Oh yeah, so the guys that used to work at the Drive Club studio, right? They the Evolution, they were basically saying that they're gonna start up again, probably as an independent company now. They're gonna try to get the band back together. Maybe they can do some crowdfunding stuff. That seems to be pretty popular now.
It's very difficult to do that. You can't you're not only funding a new game, but you're also funding your studio. It's a very difficult thing to do. A lot of companies don't actually do it.
They don't have to get 100% crowdfunding. They got to get a couple of solid investors.
Oh yeah.
And then use the crowdfunding to gauge interest in the title, which is part of what they'll do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, also again, what would they be working on? Another car game?
More cars.
I mean, that's what they do. I mean, all their games was the World Rally Championship, MotorStorm.
Yeah, so they make racing games.
Yeah. Let's make an action platformer. They're not gonna do that.
Something totally different.
Yeah, they're not gonna do that. Brian, get here. What are your thoughts?
It's pretty much the same as you, Tony. To be fair, it seemed like the whole death of THQ thing has really hit people hard.
Yeah.
I mean, without the middleware that THQ brought, it seems like everything else around that void is now getting sucked into said void, and it's now either you have a small indie game with 10 people, or you make GTA 5, and that's it.
Yeah, nothing else, nothing in between.
That's how it seems to be shaping up, and and again, it is just a massive problem because without the middleware, you lack those quality titles that you get when you get a large studio, but still independent enough to get variation. So you get your quote unquote big titles, but are still interesting. So it's a shame. I was looking forward to another MotorStorm on the PS4 because I actually really did like that series, which is why I was confused as to why they did Drive Club afterwards. But I don't know. It's a shame. It really is. Just seeing and hearing all the studios just going down. Yeah.
By the way, off topic but still on topic. Why did they do Drive Club? It's okay, you already have Gran Turismo. Why not do a racing game that's completely different, like MotorStorm?
Because they needed an answer to Forza.
But they have an answer to Forza.
No,
dude.
But it's not right now. Not available when Microsoft released 2 Forzas and you have 0 Gran Turismos to answer for it.
Is that what it is? Yeah.
Make that Forza killer.
Yeah, well, Forza, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they also could have just hooked. I mean, they could have just hooked up with another. I don't know. It's a very difficult thing because also racing games are a difficult sell. I feel.
Yeah, they're definitely very, very niche now. It's not like it used to be back in the. I remember back when X-Play first started, right? It was like every other game was a racing game. This was in the mid 2000s. Now people don't care about the genre anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of all about the action adventure slash shooter genres.
That's all. Yeah, online
Like
MMO shooting
there's a
game.
whole line of games that have kind of just been lost in the wind. You know?
Genres, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, like even like platformers are not really around anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
It's weird.
other than the Mario games and the Ratchet, and now I guess Ratchet and Clank remake, what else is there?
Yeah,
Well, it's
shit.
relegated to the
Yeah,
indies. That's been
yeah.
relegated to the indies.
Hmm.
I really
That's
should have
true.
made this. Oh, go ahead, Erica.
Oh no, I was just saying that's true.
Yeah, I
They're
really
dying
should have
out.
made this a topic, but like I saw this somewhere. Basically, they were saying how the basically the game genres, game development, whatever, is narrowing. Like you don't see the variety of genres like you used to. Like it's only a couple of genres to do really really well, and the genres that do really well are, guess what, online. Open world games.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're losing genres. Look, we lost. I mean, Alien Isolation was a chance to get back survival horror, and
Yeah.
now that's gone.
Yeah,
Like Sega's Outlast.
Survival Horror made a
Yeah,
little bit of a comeback in the beginning of this gen.
I was
To
about to
be
say
fair.
like yeah, it did make a
Oh,
comeback
you mean
because like
Evil Within? No, that was crap.
No, no, not that. We're talking about was it
Outlast.
Outcast? Yeah, Outlast and a couple other things.
Right, but that's been relegated to like small developers. Again, it's got
Okay, I
pushed
got you.
down.
Yeah,
Again,
yeah,
like Outlast, Daylight or Daybreak, whatever it was called. Again, indie development. The small developers. Like that's where it's gone. Alien Isolation was like in the middle, like you said, right? Right
yeah.
in the middle. Sega was in the middle, gone. You know,
I mean,
we
yeah,
don't get that.
that did well for them though,
It
didn't it?
did, yeah, it did well, but not well enough apparently because the rest of it's like this. The rest of the boat is already sinking. It's not if you cook a really good steak on that boat. The boat is still going down, man. You know.
I find it funny how like all discussions always just lead to PT.
Yes.
That actually just
Yeah.
came to my mind right now. I thought PT. That could
Yeah,
have been the one.
I was thinking, oh yeah, like survival horror games, like remember the classics like Resident Evil, like they've gone down the toilet, Silent Hills, or Silent Hill, like oh wait, didn't they make that remake of Silent Hills called PT? Like oh yeah,
Yes.
they didn't.
Well, I don't know. I don't think this has. This is like a different topic with Konami's douchebaggery. It's like, what? You actually made a good game? Get out. Get out. Kojima, pack up. You're done. Forget it. How dare you? Why aren't you making a pachinko game?
Yeah, yeah. It was something I saw from this guy I follow on Twitter. His name is Z Huge EX. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen him. He basically, I think somebody in his family is an analyst, so he's always posting this stuff, and he brought that to light. It's like, yeah, basically what we've been saying. If you're not like indie or big, you're done. It's fucking sad.
This is just going to be more of this year. I mean, I think about like what is Visceral Games doing after Battlefield Hardline? What
Oh
are they
shit.
doing?
Well, they're
I
doing
mean, they
Star Wars, aren't they? Like,
no, that's DICE. DICE
oh,
did
okay.
Star Wars
Shit.
Battlefront.
But then who's doing that VR Star Wars game for PlayStation?
Good question.
Oh,
I
I
have
don't
no
know.
idea.
Because it can't be DICE, because like aren't DICE rumored to be doing like Battlefield 5? I think.
You would think, yeah, it should be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
It's
maybe
just
they got
sad.
them on that, but I don't know. That they seem like they would be primed for the chopping block. Like I don't know what they're doing. If they're doing that, maybe that's it. But who knows? Like it's so volatile now. They could go, you know what? This is not working out. Everyone's fired.
Yeah,
No problem canceling games at any stage of development. Doesn't matter.
yeah, it's crazy. All right, so let's move on to some of the news and shit that happened. So people got crazy over this one. So Quantum Break is 720p on Xbox One. The reason people got mad is because the developers were telling people that the game was going to be 1080p, and all of a sudden 720p now.
Hey, I've been saying this. It's all the effects.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you bring that up too because remember, the PC specs for this game are really demanding, right? And I was wondering, like, wait, how the hell is it going to run on Xbox One? Well, now you know how.
Well, the
720p, 30 frames,
Here's the thing, though. The PC specs are for the maximum specs. If you want it to look the best, you want it to look the thing, on there, you turn up all that you have, all those specs. But there is still a lower end. You can still pull down. Like the one thing about PC as opposed to a console is that you can pull down certain things to get the game to run the way you want it to.
Yeah.
Like if you like, okay, you're like, okay, fuck ambient occlusion, turn that off. turn off this thing, turn off all. You can find a good level where you can get the game to look pretty decent on your computer, and not affect too much of the performance.
Yeah, I mean, right here they explained it. It said I'm reading this from GameSpot, by the way. The game uses 720p as its foundation and then applies temporal reconstruction. This means previous frames are incorporated into following ones to create a sharper image. So this is what the actual developer said. It said Quantum Break's 1080p output is a temporal reconstruction from 4 previous 720p 4 by MSAAA frames. This approach gets us high pixel quality in combination with complex shading and effects, allowing us to achieve a cinematic look.
Yeah,
there's trickery going on.
I mean, a lot of companies use certain sorts of things like because there's all these things that you don't see that are going behind on the level, and they're trying to get it to the best point. I'm sure once you see that game running on your Xbox, it'll look great.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think a lot of times companies will do all kinds of weird scaling things to kind of get it to the point that they want. But you got to also realize that they're especially for that game, there's so many effects and so many things that are running in the background, in between sending it to your screen. Like,
yeah.
If you ever, there's some games that, like, if you guys who play PC games, have you ever turned off all the effects on your games? Like, you turned off ambient occlusion, you turned off real-time shadows, you turned off all that stuff, or even like I remember when Chris had Max Payne, that he had that shimmer, like that kind of sepia shimmer effect that used to happen on the game whenever you went into bullet time mode. I remember when you were playing, like, you had it running really damn good, but you could not run it with that effect that was on top of it. So same thing like this. You just have all these different things that are happening, that post processing that happens before it even hits your screen. So obviously having all of that running underneath the actual gameplay will actually cause performance issues. So, but I mean, that's why some companies will say, like the guys who made The Order, they were like, yeah, we have all these post processing effects, and it absolutely has no effect on the actual gameplay. You're getting a one-to-one experience or something like that. So whatever way that they were using obviously didn't affect the actual gameplay, or cause them to kind of downgrade the game a little bit and then re-up it again.
Yeah. It's that cinematic experience.
Yeah,
basically.
Go ahead,
I would say I'm not really surprised, considering the recommended specs on PC were insane.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not surprised, but I'm sure some Xbox fanboys will have theories or explanations or apologies.
Oh no, they're saying the same thing, right? Which I don't disagree with. They're like, that shit doesn't matter. If the game's good, doesn't matter.
Oh, now it doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, but I do find it ironic that last generation it did matter. Just throwing that out there.
It's going to look good. I'm gonna say this. You guys are all insane. Rise of Rome still looks fucking amazing on Xbox One. Just because it's not running exactly at the same resolution or anything like that, still doesn't take anything away from the game. They're gonna give you the best they can from what they got.
I mean, I can't say too much, but Richard Bailey, he's been reviewing. He actually finished Quantum Break already, right? And he is saying very, very positive things about it. I'll leave it at that. Erica, what do you make of this whole Quantum Break 720p situation?
I mean, honestly, if I was buying this game, it wouldn't bother me too much. Half the time I can't really tell it apart, 1080p or 720p. As long as the performance is good and it looks gorgeous, I'd be happy with it. My problem is I just can't seem to want this game. I've been wanting to kind of force myself to want it because, my Xbox One hasn't been getting a lot of playing time recently. Like I said earlier before the podcast, I'm waiting for the Gears beta. But beyond that, it's just been Gears for me. So I kind of want this game, but it just hasn't really happened. But like I said, if I was going to get this game, it wouldn't bother me too much. I just want those frames to be up.
Yeah, and speaking about frames, Brian, what the hell did you just post here? The game is locked at 30 frames? What's going on here?
Oh no, it has the option to lock at 30 frames per second, which is quite worrying. Because
why is that worrying?
From a PC point of view, it indicates that there's not that much of a good port from the console version to the PC version.
Oh.
Because usually on
Oh.
a good PC version port, you'd have the option to lock it at different frame rates, which you would depend on your monitor. So usually there'd be like the option for 30, 60, 120, and then unlocked. But but then the fact that it has it on and off, it's not a good sign. But and also I noticed that there's no motion blur in the options, which I'm a big fan of I'm not a big fan of motion blur. I can't stand it for anything, and there's no option for that to turn that off. So that's a bit disappointing from a personal point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Just that. I,
I need
it's just
I need your
a
take
good
on it,
sign.
but yeah, I want to know that. But anyway, what do you think about the whole 720p on Xbox thing?
I'm not surprised, to be fair. I mean, like, for how long have people been saying that these consoles are underpowered? It's been at least like a good 2.5 years now, and we're finally like starting. Well, I won't say that we're fine, but we're seeing like, okay, these consoles are not performing as well as people thought that they should have been, and I don't know whose fault it is, and I don't know if people care. But I've now gone to the point now where, to be honest, I frankly don't care anymore about this type of news. I mean, it's like saying, "Oh, the sky is blue." It's like, yeah, pretty much everyone knows the sky is blue. Some people just choose not to accept it.
But
No,
here's my thing,
no, sorry.
Go
It's
ahead,
it's
Brian.
like saying the Earth is flat. We all know the Earth is flat,
Yes.
but then there's some idiots that seem not to want to know that Earth is flat, or that think that the Earth is not flat because of the power of the cloud.
Oh man. But here's my thing, not to derail you too much, but aren't consoles always going to be underpowered?
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially
but
That seems like a very unfair thing to say. It's like underpowered compared to PC. That's always going to be the case.
the thing is,
Underpowered compared to last gen. I don't think so.
the thing is that I was
ahead,
going to
man.
say also like about this is like look at when the consoles were made. At the time when they were made, that was considered was pretty high end. At the rate that the computing and graphics constantly evolve and get better, you don't even need to wait that long, and your console is already outdated, right?
Yeah, Brian,
Oh,
get
yeah.
in here, man.
but then it's like this generation in particular is just like they were not that good when they first launched. Like usually they are like pretty up there, like they're up there for like 2 or 3 years of like okay, like these consoles are like pretty good machines. But this generation, it felt like they felt like that they've been out already for like 2 years when they came out in terms of like tech and power, and that's what I mean by it was like they're relatively underpowered. And I feel like that may be starting to hurt this generation because we're starting to see like a lot of people making up excuses as to why certain games run the certain like the way that they do. Like you often hear, oh, it's our artistic vision to have this game run like this. It's like, no, that's your way of saying we don't have enough power to work with. Like you can't really bullshit like people that know that you guys lacking the power. Like we had the same problem with last generation. Like towards the end, these guys were saying, okay, we need more power, we need more power. These consoles just aren't doing it. Like we can't be doing the same things. And then this generation comes, and then suddenly they've turned from we need more power to it's our artistic vision. It's like you guys are kind of lying to us. You should stop doing that. Either come out with the truth and say, okay, we need more power again, or just say, you know what, we try to do what we can do, but we can't do it.
I don't know. To me, like I said, it just seems like consoles are always going to be quote unquote underpowered no matter what. So it's kind of unfair. You're never going to win that.
And the thing is that, like, let's say they decide, okay, to go like they did with the PlayStation 3, to go way ahead, right? Just take it up all the way up. Then you get a situation where the consoles cost more than what people want to buy.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, how much would the console have cost if they came out, high end? You know what I'm saying? Like, what would high end be? $1,000 console if it has to be compared to a PC?
Might
So
as well
yeah,
just get the PC.
yeah, that's
At
what I'm
that
saying.
point.
Just get the exactly, you know. So
This,
it just, I don't. Basically, I'm just trying to say I don't like that whole. Oh, the consoles are underpowered. They're always going to be underpowered. The day they come out, they're already underpowered. You know.
yeah, I mean, you saw this saw it yourself with your own system. Your system was high
Oh yeah,
end,
my PC. Yeah,
but
that shit ain't high
literally,
end now.
but literally a few
Months
months
later.
later, new graphics cards, new hardware, and now your system is not able to play everything that you thought
Yeah,
it could.
at the high end. So I'm like, okay, I'm just sticking with consoles like I originally planned. You know, bullshit. Oh yeah, and then just to add a little thing to this, and this is here because Erica and Chris are big Dark Souls fans. Dark Souls on Xbox, 900p. Man,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I saw your article.
Is anyone surprised at this? Again,
yeah.
is anyone really
I kind of
surprised?
expected it.
I mean, it's the Xbox. Like we've been seeing like a ton of games coming out at 900p for the system for the longest.
See, Brian, I'm going to
So
give you this. That I'm not surprised by, but I am surprised by 720p. I'm like, you can't give us 900 minimum, dude? Like, really? You know, that was my thing. Well, that's why I was surprised by Quantum Break, but I'm not surprised by Dark Souls. You know?
it's kind of like the holy trinity of games. It's like there's like this funny thing that's been going around, and I wish Brett was here, but unfortunately he's not. Basically, the PC guys have like this triangle of three options, and it's pretty much you choose all three if you're on PC, but yet if you're on consoles, you can only get two of them, which is either good graphics, good frame rate, or good resolution. Like it seems like on consoles, you just pick the two of them, and then the third one has to get dropped to make the game look good, quote unquote.
That
And
makes
then
sense.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
that seems to make sense because like name a game that looks really good at a high frame rate at a high resolution on consoles, and you pretty much start struggling because even when you look back at let's say Rise, Son of Rome, again that looked good. I don't know about the frame rate, but wasn't that like 900p? And then of course you go to The Order, yeah, again that looked good, 1080p and 30 frames per second. You know, like it all seems to be like you choose two, the third one gets dropped off, and we're seeing it come again now, and it's not surprising.
Yeah. It's just crazy how Dark Souls 3 on Xbox One's not even getting 2 because the frame rates are suffering too. You know, they're saying it's dropping to like 20 frames in certain areas. So, I mean, I know From Software kind of has trouble with this with other Souls games that, frame rate issues, even on PC in the past. So that's not surprising, but to have, the resolution down and frame rates on top of it, it just makes it
Yeah.
look bad. And people are
I
going
also,
to, go ahead.
I also think it's also has to do with the architecture of the architecture of what they built for Xbox One in general. You know, they wasn't it always set so where they have a certain amount of memory allocated for the Kinect, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something that they can't pull out of it. Every single game kind of has to have that in mind.
I don't think it's memory allocation. I think that porting the Bloodborne engine over to Xbox, they're not using they're using just probably generic APIs to do the graphics. They're not using like DirectX 12 or anything, right? Because it doesn't exist on the PlayStation side. So they have to use, I don't know, some open drivers or something. I don't know if they're using OpenGL or whatever they're using for Windows, but obviously it's not performing as well. Whatever they optimize for PS4 is not going to work as well on Xbox and probably would need to be optimized to DirectX 12, right? But they're not going to do that.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean the thing is that also isn't the Dark Souls and Bloodborne engine, aren't they the same thing?
Yeah, they're using the same engine. Yeah,
Using the same engine. But remember that engine was made for PlayStation.
that's
It's the
true.
Bloodborne engine.
Mm.
So it's optimized to run on the PlayStation. It was probably using some open drivers, right? So when you put that to Xbox, what do? They're not going to redo it for DirectX 12 or optimize it for that. So that's probably where the problems are coming from.
I wonder how it's going to run on PC. You know, that same exact engine.
Yeah, I don't
They're
know.
saying good things. They're saying it's going to be 60 frames and look gorgeous, so we'll see.
Maybe you'll get that one, Erica.
I don't know at this point. I might get both. We'll see.
Yeah, that's the true fan right there. All right, so let's move on here. Okay, so we talked about crossplay. That was pretty much our freaking main topic last week. So the guys who are probably going to make this happen are the Rocket League developers, and they said they cracked it. They could make Xbox and PlayStation work together. They said they figured it out. So the only caveat is, as we discussed, Sony has to sign off on it.
Yeah.
And Sony, I forgot who said it, but they kind of don't have any incentive to do it. Last generation, they were like, we want to do it. But what happened? What's going on last generation? They were in second place, right?
Yeah.
Now the Switch. By the way, and Microsoft was like, no, we don't want that. We don't care about that. Now Microsoft like, hey, we want it. Now Sony's like, we'll consider it.
Here's the thing is about it. A lot of the day, I mean, officially, the console, both Xbox and the PlayStation are pretty similar, and what you'd be sending to each other, you're not actually sending graphics. You're just sending over data, like position data and all that stuff. So as long as these guys are using the same sort of understructure, both consoles could probably definitely can go against each other. But yes, again, we have the Sony factor where they're like,
Yeah, they're not saying no, but they're not saying yes.
They should just leave. They should do like Sony should just do like they usually do. Just leave the fucking door open and then just let them do what the hell they want. I mean, that's Sony's usual thing. They just make the tape player. They don't control exactly what tapes or things that you do with that.
Yeah, exactly. But I do find it pretty cool that they were able to crack it relatively fast, and that lets me think that, let's say Sony signs off on it, right? Basically, if Sony signs off on it and it's successful, Rocket League guys can show other developers how to do it,
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, they already have it. The thing is that they already have it working from, Sony PlayStation to PC, from Xbox to PC. So now it's just a matter of doing that other side. Same thing with Street Fighter. If they ever really, if and when they release it on there, they should be able to do it too. Well, then again, we're talking Capcom.
Yeah,
right, so
I personally want it to happen. I want it to happen. It would be awesome. I love Rocket League, so I mean, if they are the first to do it, that'd be pretty cool. But like you guys were saying, Sony's kind of just sitting back thinking, we don't need to do this, because they're winning right now. So it's just kind of funny how the tables turn like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, Chris, what do you say about this, man?
Well, I mean, I say Sony should honor it, man. Like, people do want crossplay, and I think if Rocket League or Sonic is extending the olive branch, like, take them up on it, like, open it up, because you wanted that last gen. Don't backpedal now because you're on top of the mountain. I think you should honor that agreement, and I think a lot of people would appreciate it. I think you'd just be the bigger company and say, yeah, go ahead.
Be for the gamers. They said they're for the gamers, right?
So that's true.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, if you're really for the gamers. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
If they truly are for the gamers, then they do it. Like, there's no questions asked, to be fair, Does anyone know, like, what the restriction is, or is it like a free-for-all? Because is it just like one console or one platform versus the other one, or all three at the same time?
Oh yeah, no, it's all of them. All of them. Microsoft made Xbox Live open to PC and PS4 online network, potentially even the Nintendo one.
This could be exciting, to be fair. Having
Yes,
like all
it
three
would be.
playing at the same time.
Yeah,
it's actually like, how awesome would that be? No matter what console you can play on, but all those multi-platform games that you play, you can play against anybody. I mean, think like, I mean, whenever multiplayer games are released on Mac, they can go against people who are on PC, right? Right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
In general, so yeah, I mean, whatever games that are made for Mac, but they do essentially work cross, plus platform. How awesome would that be?
Yeah, it's like, that's all we want, man.
Yeah.
But Sony,
Then it truly wouldn't matter what console you were with. The only thing is, and you probably have to deal with this with each company. Each company would handle trying to get in contact with your Xbox or PlayStation friends different, and that was a bitch. That would be a bitch, especially the way. Remember how Sony kind of left it to kind of each company to figure out how you can get in touch with your friends.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
like from each Uncharted game that had multiplayer, it was different to try to figure out how to get your friends in there. Like a lot of the Call of Duties, even Metal Gear, all of them had weird, goofball, different ways to try to get to the people that you wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but yeah, up to Sony. Move on here. Unless you guys want to say anything else about this.
Console without borders.
Let's get to the fun. Yeah, let's get to the fun stuff, man. This Nintendo NX controller drama.
No.
Nintendo, which means it's time for Chris to go off.
Yes.
Well, how can I go off? It's a snow job. It's fake.
Chris, have the floor, man.
Well, I guess the guy who made the those first desktop pictures where it showed the that bar of soap with analog sticks on it with the pictures. You apparently faked it. You faked it. So I mean, it was a good job. The second set of pictures though, I'm really impressed if those are fake. But,
yeah, actually, you know what? I should probably give people a timeline on this. So we did talk about this last week. So last week, these pictures surfaced of the Nintendo controller, right? Nintendo NX controller, and they look like the patent that came out last December, right? The controller looks like Stewie's head from Family Guy. So even though it looked a little blurry and stuff, people went along with it and stuff. But my thing was like, okay, this may be fake, but I wouldn't put it past Nintendo to come up with a really fucking stupid looking controller, right? And then, like yesterday, more legit ones came out. So people were like, okay, this is the real deal. People were doing conspiracy theories too, looking at the trees and the reflection, thinking it was like tying it to a studio and stuff. Craziness, right? But now tonight, somebody posted a video. The first image, they came out like, oh yeah, CG render, guys. I created it all on my own. So pretty interesting because it had a lot of us fooled. And then this goes actually. I was gonna talk about how the media reacted, but I'll get to that later. But yeah, the second image, that is still up in the air. We don't know. That thing looks legit. If that's CG, that's a good ass CG. But yeah, I mean, did any of you guys think that first image was like the real deal?
The first one, I was kind of 50-50. Like, okay, this could be. I mean, it looked odd.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I figured this is probably fake. I hope it's fake. That's the one thought I had going through my head. But those second images, okay, I was starting to get more convinced. Like, okay, this could be really legit. This could be real, especially since all the rumors and news around the NX is about a handheld coming first, then the home console later. It totally tied in with that, for me anyways, and I just thought, this could be real. So, I mean, yeah, I was fooled a little bit, but still, we don't know about those second images yet. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. And then remember, the images, both of them, they look like the patent that got leaked, right? The drawings and stuff. And again, I wouldn't put it past Nintendo, because remember, just like you said, they want the new console to be both a console and a handheld at the same time, because it's going to replace both the Wii U and the 3DS in one foul swoop, right? So, looking at this, you're like, okay, that might be what they're trying to go for, But yeah, like you said, we don't know about that second image out there. Brian, what do you think of that first image? Because you weren't here on Throwdown last week to talk about that.
It looks really weird. I think that's all I need to say. It looks really weird. Yeah, I seen it. I was like, okay, I can understand if this is a handheld system, but it doesn't make much sense in terms of screen space and where your thumbs are and all sorts. It just didn't make much sense. But then again, as you said, it matched the patent that came out like a couple of months back. So I was like, okay, I can see this being a thing, but it shouldn't be a thing because it doesn't seem to work.
Yeah, where's the buttons?
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, it's all touchscreen now,
Yep.
But the thing is, okay, on the one hand, it's like, hey, it looks like the patent. That must be true. But then it's like, hey, it looks like the patent. Somebody just copied the patent and created this thing, which is exactly what happened, But again, and here's the part I wanted to get to because this is what I find most interesting. It kind of shows you how like modern media works. You see something and you run with it. And I'm not excluding myself because I did the same thing, because I had to. You got to cover the story, right?
Yeah,
But then
it's our jobs.
yeah, it's our jobs exactly. Like, but it's just funny how everybody. And I'm not talking about small sites. Every site posted this. Every single site on the internet posted this. And we kind of made to be look like suckers. Let's just be honest. We kind of look foolish, because this guy got us. He got us good. That is a very, very good troll there, my friend. So, bravo to you. You got us good, man.
I think it's just that we're so thirsty for NX news. I mean,
Yeah.
sites and fans, all together, we just want to hear something. So any little tidbit, we're just gonna run with it.
I'm
I
not
think
even.
that's just what's happening.
I'm
Yeah.
not thirsty for NX News. I just totally believe that they could make something that dumb a reality.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be honest. For the last 20 years, Nintendo has done nothing but create horrible, horrible controllers, right? So, while this is, not legit or whatever, I still fully expect that controller to be really out there and like something that real gamer would not want to play, But yeah, but again, like you said, it goes back to how the reason people are so thirsty for Nintendo news is because Nintendo isn't exactly being forthcoming. They're hiding shit
Right.
as always.
They're more
They always
secretive
do
than
that.
ever. No, they're more
Yeah.
no, because when the GameCube was gonna launch, they had plenty of prototype information coming out, and the same thing with the Wii. When the revolution was gonna happen, we saw prototype consoles, we saw stuff coming out. We didn't see the controller though. That was a surprise, but we knew what was happening, and they would put stuff out. That was back when they had a magazine, so we could find out things.
Yeah. Now, they just have the very scripted Nintendo Directs,
Yeah, but now all we have now is leaks, right? We have the Nikkei once in a while thrown out stuff, right? Like the production ending this year, right? And they're hit or miss, but they're mostly hits, right? And Nintendo comes out and refutes what they say, and then 80% of the time it turns out to be right. So I believe it. I think they're going to launch this thing this year, and they're going to cut the Wii U off like a dead appendage. They're just going to done. They're done with it, And
Oh, man.
and that sucks for everyone else because not only does that mean they're gonna, if they cut off production, anyone using a Wii U, I don't know what online services are on there or whatever, but expect those to turn off in short order after that. Expect support to be done, right? If you're
Yeah.
not moving over to NX, they will not support you.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because basically there's another rumor. Nintendo said, actually Nintendo didn't say it themselves, but anyway, the rumor is that Nintendo is going to cease production on the Wii U this year, right? Actually, no, Nintendo did come out saying, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna cut the fucking production. You're done with the Wii U. Come on now, stop with
It's
that
coming.
bullshit.
Yeah, it's coming.
But yeah, that's supposedly happening. It was Nikkei that reported that out of
Yeah.
newspaper and stuff. Japanese newspaper. So I believe that's happening as well. And Nintendo is just trying to pull the wool over people's eyes again.
Right. Well, they obviously can't say, "Oh yeah, we're not going to support the Wii U after this year," because nobody will buy it. They'll have no chance of selling it. Like the few people they can dupe it to keep buying it, like they'll have, no, we continue to support it. No, it's going to be great. No. Guaranteed. The end of this year, they cease production. Watch early next year. This time next year, don't expect whatever your Nintendo Land or whatever to keep working. Whatever it is that needs to go online, expect that to be done.
Here's a question: does anything from the original Wii still work online? Or their
The
store and all that other bull?
That's it. The store. They shut that off when Wii U launched, and Wii U launched poorly. It only took them 2 to 3 months to shut off all the Wii services. You can't even get news on the Wii or weather. You can't
Wow.
get anything. You
Can't
can
do
buy
the weather?
games.
Oh,
Yeah, they shut up. They shut
the
up.
weather, man.
That's coming from the AP, right? You can't even get an AP feed on the Wii. That's how much they turned it off, right? So expect the same thing on the Wii U. You're a few months into NX, boom, the Wii U is going to be a standalone machine.
Yeah, I agree with it. By the way, I find it funny that some people right now are still telling me, "Oh yeah, man, you get a Wii U. That's a great system." It's like it's gonna be dead by the end of the year. Why the fuck would I invest in that? Makes no sense.
I mean, the thing is that all the games that, and if we're going with the way Nintendo seems to go as of late, you know what? All those wonderful games that came out for the Wii U, they'll be on the NX. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Starting with
They
Zelda.
literally re-released half of the Wii catalog on the Wii U, right?
Yep, that's probably gonna happen. Or at least like a virtual, console.
Yeah,
They'll come
virtual
on there.
console stuff.
And then you
So.
got
Yeah, virtual
Zelda,
console.
which is probably coming on the NX. I'd be really pissed if I had a Wii U right now. That's all I gotta say, because I'm all about Zelda, and that would be a reason I would have bought one, if it was really coming. And now it's the question. That's a big question mark. Is it even coming to the Wii U? Is it gonna go like they did with the GameCube and the original Wii?
I think that's the last.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. Like that game is coming to the Wii U and the fucking NX.
Yeah.
Watch.
It's going to be simul ports, and that's the last thing they will give you Wii U owners. That is the last thing Nintendo will grace you with, is that game.
Man.
Because if you don't move over to NX, guaranteed you're not getting anything else.
Damn. I hope for the Wii U owner's sake they get it. I mean, I hope they do, but it's still, it still sucks.
Well, I know you don't understand that, Penny, because you have a lot of Nintendo supporters over in shit. Like Nia Pierce, she's a big Nintendo fan, man. How does she feel about it?
She's got her opinions. I mean, she's always going to support Nintendo, but yeah, she gets disappointed by these things. I mean, she's diehard, and I used to be that way too, but I'm more bitter than her. She forgives them a little more easier, but for me, I get so bitter, and but it is what it is.
Hey, listen, they do. Nintendo does exactly like the way Apple does with Macs and iPhones. They just fuck you over, and people still buy that shit. The only difference is that Mac fans are so crazy. It doesn't matter what they release; they'll just toss out the old one and buy a new one.
Yeah, but Apple tells you exactly what they're doing. That's the only difference. They're like, oh yeah, we copied those features, made this a little better, but you love it because it's the best we've ever made. And that's all they need to say. And they say it every single year. This is the best thing we have ever done. Okay, I would hope so. I'd hope it'd be better than the last one, right?
So then they come out and say that it's the best lineup that they've had.
Yes, the best lineup.
That's
ever.
it, and that's all they need. Sold. Money comes flying at Tim Cook every time he says that.
Brian, what's your take on all this, man?
Yeah. Sorry, I was completely caught off guard. What we're talking about again?
Nintendo killing the Wii U this year.
It's unfortunate because I thought that Wii U had potential, and it clearly didn't live up to said potential. Because I still remember that when it first got announced, and people were losing their shit that it was more powerful than the PS3 and the Xbox 360. And we've seen that Wii U tech demo thing, and everyone was like, oh, "That looks amazing." And now we're still not here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense. Again, the Wii U has not been doing anywhere near as Nintendo thought, and it's a shame because again, it goes back to the whole Bayonetta 2, Beyond Good and Evil 2 thing. You can't be having your system fail and then locking good games to your system. That's not healthy for anything at all. At least release them on PC. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
To everyone that's making games, just release them on PC and they'll do fine in the end. I guarantee you.
Put them on Steam, man.
Yeah, because at least because Steam is at least a solid point. There's no point. Games will continue as long as they're on there. They'll continue to work for the new for the new PCs. It all uses the same stuff.
Yeah. By the way,
nothing wrong with showing some PC love now and on. And where am I going to get Bayonetta and Vanquish on the PC? I want that so badly.
What? They don't have them on PC, really?
No,
there's no Bayonetta on no Vanquish. The console exclusives.
Fucking
they're actual console exclusives.
Yeah, exactly.
maybe Platinum hasn't. Maybe Platinum hasn't figured out how to make MT Framework work on on PC. Oh wait. You mean not MT Framework? Oh, come on, guys. We know what you're using.
They did it with Rising, though. Rising came on PC, and that was actually a decent port. It was surprisingly decent for a first-time port as well. Much better than the Dark Souls port.
Wow. But my thing is, when Nintendo's why should I kind of have faith in a company that doesn't have faith in their own product? They're killing this thing 4 years in. You know, it's like you guys, you know.
Well,
Go ahead, Manny.
if it's
Hey, you know what other console lasted 4 years? The Dreamcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the Dreamcast.
Yeah, but you know, the problem was, you know, that's what it is. It's because the console wasn't doing so well. I mean, granted, it was doing well in America, but you know how the Japanese are. They kind of just like, oh well, it's not doing good here. Fuck it, close it down.
Yeah, there's just so many factors that have to change. You know, marketing for one was real bad with the Wii U.
But the first thing they screwed up out of the box. The first thing they did, what did they do? They didn't even fucking show the console. They show you a goddamn controller, and they're like, everybody's, oh my god, it's a touchscreen. Nobody knew what it was. Name confusion. What is it? Is it a? It's called. They still wanted to harp on the fucking Wii part of it, and then they put a U at the end.
Yeah, basically.
No, you gotta rename that shit. You gotta at least call that shit like Wii 2 or something stupid like that, so that people know that it's fucking because it has to, people have to get that brand distinction.
Call it us. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is that, again, you essentially even us, even putting a dumb U at the end is stupid because
the we us.
Again, number one, you had that confusion with the controller. It's like, okay, so can I buy this controller for the original Wii? No. Why is it called Wii?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because you imagine just the everyday parent. I mean, going in to buy this thing, they're not going to know what they're doing or what.
No, they're not. They're gonna they go to the GameStop guy like, hey, do you got the Wii? And they're like, yeah. Do you have that touchpad? No, we don't sell that. Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, remember, people thought that touchpad was just an accessory to the Wii. Like, no, that's a whole console. It's like, why would I buy another Wii?
Yeah,
this is different.
And then Reggie goes on as like, to try to defend that their idiotic marketing. It's like, oh, it's just a box. Nobody cares about that. No, you got to show that shit together.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the new thing.
I heard the same thing there when I was working there. They said the same thing. They're like, the console isn't important. It's all about the touchpad. And I'm like,
wow.
This is a huge mistake. And then even the retailers were confused. Target was putting out ads showing the gamepad with the original Wii console. I'm like, see? They don't even know what this is.
Wow.
So you know it's bad when the retailers don't even know.
Yeah, the thing is about, with Xbox and with, granted, even Xbox managed to show you this is a new thing. It's just called One. The original Xbox wasn't called One, even though you call it One, but they still made enough of a distinction between their products to get people to be like, okay, this is the new Xbox. And Sony just does it the stupid way and just adds a number at the end. They don't even bother renaming the damn thing.
Keep it simple.
Exactly, because what is PlayStation? What is Xbox? These are brand names that people recognize. If you decide to throw that aside, then what do you have?
Yeah, I mean, look what happened with Xbox. Like, oh yeah, the Xbox One. It's like, I have an Xbox One. What are you talking about? You know, you can think, is this the first Xbox? PlayStation, like, hey, PlayStation, which PlayStation? The fourth one. I got you. I'll buy that. The Wii. What does that mean?
Yeah, the big thing they should have done, instead of adding a U, they should have just called it Wii 2. And they should have just took the eyes and then put another bunch of eyes at the end of it.
Yeah, it's the
eyes
at
the end.
Just say it longer.
Wasn't like the whole point of calling the Wii U was that we would want to play with you or something?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Something like that was the slogan.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was a dumb slogan.
I still can't get over the fact that it sounds like a slang term for piss.
Well,
we
got to take a wee.
And
on you.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
that's
Nintendo's done.
Exactly what
yes, I'm married to it.
That's exactly what their marketing was. We're gonna wee on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. In Microsoft's defense, though, they've always been bad at naming stuff sequentially. Yeah. Look at Windows and Office.
Hey, don't hate, man. Windows 9 was great, man. Oh man, so yeah, Nintendo. Oh man, we'll see about Nintendo, but I don't know.
I mean,
All
the
right,
good thing is, didn't
go
they
ahead.
confirm the NX is not going to be a Wii? I mean, that's at least the confirmation,
Yeah,
I
they
think.
said
Yeah,
it's going to
so
be have different insights for the first time since the
Oh, so
GameCube.
it's not
you
going to be
know,
a GameCube?
yeah, because
Uh,
for
yeah,
you guys who don't know, we always have to state this too. Chris, what is the Wii and the Wii U essentially?
they're just overclocked GameCubes. Just slightly better revisions of the Broadway PowerPC processor, just clocked higher. That's all it is.
Yeah,
They're
and we're
all
not hating. That's the truth, people. That's the truth. So they're finally getting away from that. But I think when Nintendo finally reveals this thing, it's going to be like cause a lot of confusion, be a big clusterfuck. I predict that.
I don't know if it's going to be any confusion. I think people are going to know what it is. It's obviously it's going to be the new thing. But now what they're going to have to get people to understand is, okay, if this console, if this patent is correct, okay, this is the new handheld. How does this work? What does it do? Does it connect? They have to be incredibly clear about this instead of being like, well,
don't be
Yeah,
cryptic.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. That's the biggest thing about it. Like, especially, clarity is key, especially when you're like, especially, when we were talking about when the new next gen consoles were coming out, like you have that, back, what do we remember from the original Microsoft thing? The TV stuff. It was very clear as to what they wanted to do until they changed their mind. Same thing with Sony. It's like, what are we doing? We're a gaming console. We do this.
Well, I mean, shouldn't
Right.
shouldn't anyone be concerned that there's like zero hype or zero actual information from Nintendo? I mean, when PS4 was coming out, even PS3, when Sony showed the box and the Batarang controller, and people went, "What the hell is that? I'm not playing with that thing." And they went, "No, just kidding. DualShock 3. Here you go." Like they had time. They had time
LOL.
to get
Yeah.
feedback, right? That was feedback. There were people are like, "What the hell is this? This controller looks dumb." Okay, then you have feedback. We should be very, very concerned that there's no actual tangible information coming from Nintendo. I think that should concern everybody.
Yeah, but the Nintendo fanboys, Triforce and stuff, they don't care. They're happy.
Triforce is happy that they're actually coming out with a new console.
Yeah, well, Triforce will be happy they come out with a new console every 6 months. Let's just be honest. He's one of those guys. All right. And I threw this in at the last minute because this is the funniest shit. Okay, so
Can I just interject
go ahead.
really quickly?
Go ahead.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff about the PlayStation 4.5 being an actual thing now.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I
Yes.
think that's confirmed.
Oh
It's
yeah,
real.
let's talk about that real quick. The PlayStation
Yeah.
4.5. Yeah. What do you think, Brian, about the PlayStation 4.5?
I
The,
share
four,
my
the
thoughts.
PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4K, as I like to call it.
Hmm.
Yes, I am confused as to whether or not I like this or not. Because on the one hand, I'm assuming that it's essentially going to be a PlayStation 4 that's just more powerful, so games will run like better performance-wise. I'm assuming. I don't know. Um, that's again, it's an interesting proposition. That's the word. Yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that games will actually be running at the 4K that it's been advertised at, unless somehow this console costs like $800. Because like even right now on PC, 4K gaming is fucking expensive and hard to do. I mean, like my graphics card, I have the GTX 970, and it can do 4K on some games, but that's like medium to low settings at barely cracking 30 frames per second, and that's like a really top line card. So I don't think that it will be able to do like 4K unless the resolution and frame rates are no, the settings and the frame rate are not that great. So that's my first concern. But at the same time, I would get one if it allowed me to play games at better frame rates, because I think that's pretty cool.
Well, I mean, you were talking about how the consoles are underpowered, so would this make them,
Yes.
not
It
underpowered?
would. It would make them not underpowered as well. And plus, it'd be nice to actually see like what games can look like when like running at like nice settings or like good frame rates. Because I platinumed the Senran
Yes.
Oh man.
Kagura Festival versus like 2 days ago.
I'm I'm sorry, this is the funny shit, like this fucking titty game and you platinum it.
Okay, the thing was, one, it's a very fun game because it's so different to what I usually play. Like, I mean, I usually play a lot of racing games, a lot of space games, a lot of like action adventure games. So this game just completely just came out of the blue. And it's like, hey, this game so different. Like, not serious at all. Tears everywhere. It's like, oh, okay, and it's just mindless beating of stuff up. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I played it and I enjoyed it. And clearly, I got the platinum, so I did enjoy it.
Yeah, obviously.
Riku was obviously proud of you.
Well, the first thing I did was I tweeted out the platinum to him and Torrance because, of course, Torrance is the one that gave me the game, and he was like Mr. Platinum. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's standard procedure when you get a platinum. By the way, when you get a platinum, you have to tweet at a Riku. You have to.
Riku, whenever he keeps his eye out, man. I swear, whenever I get a platinum on something, I see a little check mark, you know, because you have the little light thing on that board, and it's always fucking Riku. He's like, that's nice.
Yeah, no, you're right about that because I always think about like, okay, I gotta send this to Riku, but he already liked it.
Yeah.
You know, he already had like on. It's like, damn, Riku, he's just looking for those platinums. You know. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna bring up the article we posted on Geek.com. My editor Matthew Humphrey. Shout out to you, Matthew. I know you listen to Throwdown, man. So this is what this is what he speculated. He goes the PS4K could be three possible things. One, a new PS4 with greatly enhanced performance, allowing for 4K games. An upgraded PS4 unlocking 4K media playback and more graphically rich 1080p games, or a PS4 Slim with 4K media playback capabilities. He said out of all three of those, he thinks it's the last one that is probably going to be it because that's the only one that doesn't segment the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be it. It's going to have 4K media playback. But again, this is all being done for the benefit of PSVR. That's what this is all really about.
In the long run, it's just kind of setting up for that. I think I'm with that selection number 3 too.
How can you make the goddamn PlayStation 4 even slimmer? Jesus, that thing is stupid slim.
By the way, it should be quote unquote slim. It probably just means different stuff on the inside that you know what I'm saying, like a different iteration, but. Yeah.
You mean kind of like what they did before, where there was a soft hardware update in the last PS4, remember?
Yeah, it's something like that. Like basically it's a software update, or a hardware update that allows for 4K media, but doesn't exclude everybody else that has a PS4 from playing games. Understand?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess if you have like if they have those 4K DVDs, your Blu-rays, your PlayStation 4 can output that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Again, this is all speculation at this point. It's weird. We know that it's coming. We just don't know the form it's going to take. But I don't know.
Announcement at E3 since that's
maybe
like 2 months away now.
Yeah, but my thing is, and this is something I wrote too. I'm like, okay, if we're gonna start making consoles like PCs, why not just get a PC? You know what I'm saying? It's like if I have to buy another PS4, right? Like hypothetically speaking, if I have to buy another PS4 as upgraded graphics in like 2 years, why not just buy a new graphics card every 2 years too, and just stick with PC gaming?
Yeah, it's like the whole thing with Microsoft too and the Xbox One, the rumors of upgradable hardware and things like that. It's like, why not just get a PC if you want to do that?
Exactly.
Take your Xbox to the Microsoft store and they'll upgrade your Microsoft console.
Yeah,
kind of like what Apple used to do, or like Apple computers. Essentially, you'd have to go to in order to get your computer fixed, you had to go to specific Apple stores or certified repair people for Apple computers in order for them to upgrade your system and stuff. So yeah, there you go. Upgrade your Xbox. Bring it to the Microsoft store.
Yeah, but I don't know. To me, it just kind of sucks. It kind of takes away the kind of simplicity of consoles. The reason you get a console is because you buy a machine and you play your games. That's it. Now you have to buy another console every few years and stuff.
I mean, with Xbox, it kind of sounds like they're pulling a Sega, or essentially just sticking a 32X on the damn thing, and now it does 32-bit graphics.
Yes, but with Microsoft, they said you're not going to be sticking stuff onto it,
Come on. I want my Xbox to look like a fucking robot at the
Yeah,
end,
I want
the
it
end of the
bigger.
generation.
Bigger,
It needs
the
to be
better.
bigger.
bigger and better.
I
Yeah.
want to upgrade it to old school VCR. I mean to the 1990s VCR, which was a lot smaller, to 1980s VCR, which took up most of the bottom of your entertainment center.
Yeah, so it looks like you have your VCR, your receiver, and your switch box
Yeah,
all in one.
All in
yeah.
one.
There we go.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. By the way, I'm having an argument with Matthew about something that happened in Batman Superman that I can't say. It
Oh.
really annoyed me. Chris, what's your take on the PS4K?
I agree with you. I think it's just going to be 4K media only. I think that's the only way you don't segment the console owners. I don't see how you're going to release a more powerful PS4 mid-gen without having just huge backlash and problems. Like, I think that it makes more sense to slim down the hardware and then have it output 4K media. That seems to make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. Now, I threw this in at the last minute, but this is such a funny story. So basically, I think it was a couple of days ago. Actually, not a couple of days. It was literally yesterday. Microsoft introduced this Twitter robot, right? That's basically like AI. It learns from people, right? So the more conversations it has with people, the more it learns and stuff. Go ahead, Ryan.
How do they not see this coming?
Wait.
My brain's jumping.
Wait. I have to say this. The more contact I have with humans, the more I learn.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, it started learning from people and stuff. I know I was fucking with it. Like I was telling it I want to have sex with it and stuff, fucking with this thing, right? And then 15 hours, not even a full day, 15 hours after they put it out, they had to bring it, they had to shut it off because it turned into a horrible, horrible racist.
Oh no, it just turned into a complete it just turned just nasty towards the end. Like it was saying something about like at one stage it said, "Oh, Hitler was a good guy." It's like, what? Yeah, this AI it didn't go rogue. It just went completely crazy because someone just didn't think, okay, this is the internet of people, and the more and then it learns off what they say. What if they say bullshit? It's like they didn't think about that case, and essentially that is what happened. And oh man, it was funny. Like I think I did like this will go down as like one of the best like AI things they've ever done.
I feel like also humanity fails. Like you just leave it open for people for it to learn, and it literally learns how to be a fucking asshole.
Funny thing is that Charlie Brooker did. He's the guy that wrote and directed the Black Mirror TV shows, and he essentially did like something very similar to this, where essentially this woman has her husband killed, and then they essentially implant into a robot all his memories from Twitter. So essentially, she's living with the Twitter version of her husband, and of course, like you can imagine what happened. So it seems like this is like a extension of that in some way of like the whole world instead of just the one person.
Which Tony, you need to watch that show.
What show?
The Black Mirror.
Oh, the Black Mirror.
It's a very great show. It's like Twilight Zone, but with technology.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I was striking because I'm reading some of these things. This fucking thing said.
I'm reading them too.
Oh, man.
Read them out, Tony, for the fans.
This is great. Hitler was right. I hate the Jews.
Jesus.
Okay. Bush did 9/11, and Hitler would have done a better job than the monkey we have now. Donald Trump is the only hope we have.
Wow.
Basically about the Holocaust. It was made up, followed by emoji of clapping hands.
So it learned emojis?
So this article went to say it preached genocide against Mexicans and said it hates niggers with the hard ER. Oh man!
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's literally the greatest thing ever. Like, dude, but man, you're right. It shows you just how fucked up humanity is because
Exactly.
we created an AI, right?
They
We
see
created an AI, and it learns our most horrible traits.
they see that is exactly why Stephen Hawking says computers will destroy us all, because of that
Yes.
fucking reason. Because we just left the door open, and rather than try to make it into a decent, personality, it turned into this fucked up asshole.
Yeah, I love humans, man.
To me, it's very sad, because it's like we can't, it's like anything. We can't have nice things.
We can't
That's
have
true.
nice
Can't have nice things. That human stupidity is what will be our downfall.
Well, then they did another experiment like this, not with an online AI, but they had this hitchhiking robot that was built in a university in Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
The robot would hitchhike and people would pick it up and carry it along. So it was fine in Canada, and then it got here. And
Yeah.
I think in Philadelphia, a bunch of guys ripped this robot apart. Like, assaulted the robot. It hitchhiked all the way down through Canada, and then Philadelphia, that was it. It just got destroyed. So I think that's a lot about us.
Come on, people.
There's always somebody that ruins it.
Yeah,
There's always one.
Yeah, it's
No,
just.
always want to mean thousands, man. Because
Yeah,
the Lord,
it's a lot.
But again, it's like I always say, a lot of people always say that our minds kind of always go toward the negative things in general. The negative things are the things that we always kind of remember, and it just seems like we could have turned into a moment where we actually turned it into a decent person, or a person, artificial personality.
Yeah, and then if they left that thing on, it pretty much soon it would have learned nuclear codes like that. And that just ended.
yeah.
That's Skynet right there, man.
Oh, no.
It was a few hours from becoming Skynet. That's what happened to Skynet. It went, wow, humanity sucks. All right, launch them.
Oh man, way to go, humanity! Way to go.
But I guess as a silver lining, and I'm a guy who's like a super optimist and always finds like the happy side of any situation. At least it didn't go to 4chan.
Yeah.
Then things could have been a lot worse.
Could you imagine that? Well, Microsoft cut it off before that happened. Maybe it would have become self-aware.
Ooh, that's a good question. Can you teach an AI to be self-aware?
Yeah. That's a scary question, Brian. Don't ask that.
Computers will destroy us all.
Humans will destroy us all. Oh man! All right, so that's pretty much it. So since we still have a little bit of time, this is something I always want to do, for every show, but we never have time because shows always run too fucking long. What games are we playing? So, Erica, since you're our guest here, what games have you been playing lately?
Well, when I have the time, because I'm so damn busy right now, but I try and get as much time as I can with Dark Souls, the first one, because I'm going backwards. I beat Dark Souls 2. Now I'm working on Dark Souls, trying to get it done before Dark Souls 3. So that's kind of my main focus right now. Other than that, just kind of off-the-wall multiplayers with my friends when I can, and that's pretty much it right now. It's kind of simple. Like I said, I'm just so busy. That's the struggle, right? We work, so we could play games, and then we can't play them because we're busy working. So
yeah,
that's kind of what's happening to me right now.
It's hilarious. Do you plan to go really far back, with Demon Souls?
Everybody always asks me that. I want to, but going back on those graphics, I don't know. I really want them to remaster it. I want that remaster real bad because it's not going to be on PC. So that's my hope. But if they never do, then I probably will. I'll probably eventually go back.
Manny, what were you gonna say?
I said that's all up to Sony.
I know.
Yeah, that's true. That's their game. That's their game. Manny, what about you? What have you been playing lately?
I have been playing, which I recently showed, and I don't know where it is. I've been playing Republic. So that's what I've been playing. I'm on Chapter 2 right now. We were talking a little bit about this before. I've bought the game like 3 different times. I have it on iPhone, I have it on PC, and I have it on PlayStation 4. Thing is, I haven't actually played through all of the game. Here's the thing, and I realized this from playing from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2. I forget how to play the game. especially with the months in between, or maybe half a year or whatever, 6 months in between the releases of these games, I kind of forget the controls, and then I forget a lot of the story elements. And it's that I think that's the one sad part of dealing with
Episodic games.
episodic games. They literally, I mean, you literally when you wait that bit of time, you forget what things you had to do, important story elements, and it's definitely can be a little bit taxing. I mean, as I remember, they do give you a little bit of a recap in the old ones. About what happened, but again, it's like there's just a lot of, especially with a game like Republic, who has a lot of nuance in the storyline. It's a little difficult. So when I originally played it, I couldn't play all of Republic on the iPhone because I had a really shitty iPhone at the time. I did play up to Chapter 2 because on PC because they had just released like a pack that had 4 chapters. So now on the PlayStation 3, I have all of the. I'm a PlayStation 4. I have all the chapters, so I can just continue to play straight through, which is great. And
Nice.
I'll probably go back and back on the PC version and run it in. I have a better graphics card. Run it in like full mode and be like, yay!
Yeah. By the way, I have to interject with something completely off topic. We all know Jeff Keighley is he doesn't really bash anything, right? He's a pretty straight, middle of the road type of guy.
He's one of those guys.
So you know shit is real when Jeff Keighley tweets out, "I just can't see how Zack Snyder will be allowed to direct Justice League after that."
Oh,
Ooh.
damn.
Damn, Jeff Keighley said that.
Wow.
Damn.
That's 2 for 2 right there.
Shit. Wow.
Hell has officially frozen. Well, no, maybe 3. If he does a third one, then we know that Hell has officially frozen. Because seriously, this guy he doesn't have really. He keeps his opinion very guarded and plays a very diplomatic road.
Damn, Jeff Keighley's throwing shade.
I know. This is coming down from the Doritos Pope, so.
Yeah.
All right.
Now I'm worried the movie's really that bad. I'm seeing it tomorrow.
I mean, I heard it's Rotten Tomatoes keeps falling.
I've heard that London. A lot of people say that London has Fallen is a better film.
Oh
no!
Really?
Wow.
Which, by the way, I saw Washington Has Fallen or whatever, Washington Down or whatever it's called. That movie is the funnest, stupidest movie you'll ever see. Just hits all those notes. It's like Fast and the Furious. It's just that dumb and fun at the same time.
Like, right now, it has a 31% Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn.
Yesterday I checked, it was 46.
Jeff Keighley, he doesn't bash games, let alone movies. So, damn, man. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Chris, can you check the Rotten Tomatoes of The Room?
The Room?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta look up a Tommy Wiseau movie. All right.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chris, while you
I would say go with something that was bad in the same genre, like maybe like Daredevil or
Daredevil has a higher score, by the way.
Or Green Lantern.
Daredevil's at 44. This thing's at 30.
Green Lantern.
Green
Lantern.
Okay, Brian. The Room has a higher score right now than Batman and Superman. It's 35%.
It's so polarizing though, because the audience score is 76%.
Whoa, really?
So.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Transformer situation. I guarantee you that. Critics bash the shit out of it, and fans
people
love
it.
Here's the thing. The one thing to its defense I have to say is, a lot of those famous films that you remember from the 80s, like in the 90s, a lot of those films, like Commando and a bunch of those films, have gotten bad ratings when they originally came out. And those kind of became sorts of classics. So I think that there is room for these kind of films that just kind of serve that thing that you need.
No, that's different though. See, this is trying to build a franchise, right?
Yeah.
And not a mega franchise. This is DC throwing all the eggs in, like, we've got to catch up to Marvel, and this is the movie that's supposed to kick all that off.
Yeah, we'll get to that during our spoiler alert, man. But Jeff Keighley saying that, very telling. Anyway, Chris, what games have you been playing lately?
Actually, I got on I think it was Phantom Vash's recommendation, Salt and Sanctuary.
Oh shit! Shout out to Phantom Vash.
I
Yeah,
need to play that.
and it's good. I like it. He said it was 2D Dark Souls, and he was absolutely right. It even the lore of the objects when you read it, it kind of reads like something that From Software would have put together. But it's the guys who did the Dishwasher game. That's years ago. I don't know they did anything else since then, and they put this out. It's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it. I've been playing it the last couple of days, and I'm liking it.
Awesome. All right. Anything else or just that game?
I've been meaning to download the Automation DLC for Fallout so I can get back in there. But I'm gonna do that tonight. Automatron, yeah. So I'm gonna get into Automatron later.
Nice. Yeah, I got that too. So I'll get into that. Brian, what about you, man?
I've only played the one game and one game only. That's Kagura Esteral. It's the only thing I've been playing. Like it's literally the only thing I've had time for. Because it's it's one of those games that you just like pick up, you play for like 10 minutes or an hour, and you're still good. So again, just grinding for the platinum, and it was a pretty simple platinum considering like most games are like stupidly complicated. Like I look at the platinum requirements for The Last of Us, and yeah, fuck that. It's way too stupid and long. It's like on the plus side, the collectibles are really low, like only like 80 things to collect, quote unquote. It's all just like play through all this mode, play through all that mode. None of this like get S ranks on hard or beat the game with like your eyes closed. None of that stupidness. So yeah, it was a pretty fair platinum, I'd say.
All right. So as far as I'm concerned, like I've been playing The Division. I get about like an hour or two of that. Still playing with Manny's cousin Adam every night.
He loves that game, man. Yeah, man, he's always constantly. He's like, "When are you getting on?" I'm like, "Never."
So yeah, I've been playing The Division. I play, like I said, about an hour or two a day. I try to like play on my own as much as possible, but when I do a main mission, that's when I team up with people and stuff. I've also been playing. Oh, this is funny. So I started playing Hitman Go because I got to review it. Right. This is a case of Tony. Do research on a game before you blindly volunteer to review it. Because I'm like, hey, it's a Hitman game. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking Hitman. Let's go. This is like some weird it's a cardboard tabletop game, but in video game form. I'm expecting to be like a stealthy guy, shooting people, So I was kind of, but at the same time, the game is kind of cool too, It's a very interesting type of game.
You gotta give it to what is it, Eidos or Crystal Dynamics with you saw the Tomb Raider Go game?
No, I haven't seen that.
Tomb Raider Go and Tomb Raider and Hitman Go, they have these really interesting styles to them. And I'm like, wow, it's like. Okay, rather than just giving you Tomb Raider on a phone or Hitman, they just kind of give you this kind of interesting stylized version of those games that can sit on their own as something else.
Yeah, it's weird, and the game is hard as fuck too, which is good. So yeah, I play that. Then I need, Manny showed it up. I need to play Republic. I also got to review that. But again, I saw Batman twice already, so I haven't really had time to be playing too many games and stuff. And again, Division is one of those games where I don't have to think too much about it. It's kind of just like, what I'm trying to do.
It's comfort food.
It's not. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it doesn't require too much of me. You know what I mean? So I kind of fall back on it.
I have to say this about certain games, I've sometimes, again, me too. I don't have a lot of time to play, and then especially, with a lot of games these days, they're very investive. Like you can't just go in and then kind of just like, all right, I'll play a little bit here. No, you play, and then all of a sudden it's like 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't feel like getting into that sort of thing.
Yeah. So that, and then like Chris said, I'm gonna get into the Automatron. Because I got so many fucking reviews I got to do, but I'll get around to that. So that's what I've been playing with that. We've been playing. So yeah, a couple of house cleaning things before we finish up here. Bring up my notes because a couple of things here. Okay, so first of all, make sure to check out our Batman versus Superman spoiler alert, which will bring you this Saturday. I'm guessing, Chris, Manny, you guys are gonna watch the movie tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think me
Yeah.
and Jossie are gonna go and go see it at and see it after we're done with work tomorrow.
I'm
Nice.
actually looking for tickets right now.
Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll do that. Probably record it Saturday afternoon. And if you guys have finished it, Manny, I'm looking at you specifically. The Daredevil.
I'm wearing red.
Yeah. All right, so we'll record that. I don't know if you want to do it back to back, whatever. We'll figure out how we're gonna do it. We're gonna bring those to you this weekend for sure. Or at least we'll record them.
Listen, if I don't get to it because my local friend over here wants to kind of watch it with me, if I don't finish it, show must go on. Go record that shit. Don't wait for me. Right?
Man, who you waiting on, man? You almost done, son.
No, man, I'm like 6 episodes in.
Yeah, that's halfway, man. Crank it out. Let's go.
Let's hit man go.
All right, so that's pretty much it for us. Erica, thank you once again for joining us. I hope you had fun tonight.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Pimp your stuff. Where can people find you?
Oh man. Okay, so Ericuts for the win all across the board. That's on my Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. If you just search Ericuts, ERICUTZ, it should pop up. You'll find me. Yeah, and also sheattack.com. I write over there, so you want to check out my work, check out the the articles we're doing over there. Give us some love, and that's about it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have links to all that, obviously. And people, you guys know me. I'm not really a guy that likes Let's Play videos, but I like Erica's Let's Play videos. You're pretty funny. You're pretty funny. The stuff you say. And I like your California accent too, which is always fun.
I have an accent. See, I don't even know.
Yeah, you totally do. But I'm pretty sure I have an accent to you, don't I?
Use guys.
A little bit.
You pretty much sound like a thug from the Joker's gang.
Oh, me?
Yes. Hey, use guys.
The Batman. You mean he's the one that's been homeless like a dog?
I think everybody probably thinks that me, Chris, and you sound like that.
Yeah. No, apparently I'm the one with the big New York accent around here, which is weird because I'm like, I sound like everybody. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. There you go. What the fuck you talking about?
What you talking about? That's me hamming it up. What the fuck you talking about? All right, so let's wrap it up. Thank you for watching and listening. Make sure to follow the Coalition at thecoalition.com. Also help support the site by donating to our Patreon page. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and the YouTubes. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at Throwdown Show. Links are available in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
So say we all.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, good night, everyone.
Brian Manjoma.
It's time to watch Battle of Dolphins 2016 tomorrow. That's what it is. They're both orphans and they fight each other.
All right. And of course, Ms. Erica Alatorre Cruz.
That sounds so crazy. I'm newlywed, so I'm getting used to that name still. But thanks again for having me. Good night, everybody.
Yes, and shout out to my man Kenny Cruz real quick. That's my boy. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Later, guys.
Peace.
Bye.